Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are really wrestling with three massive shifts that are shaking up, well, just about everything: marketing, content, ad budgets.
Everything.
We've got a whole stack of sources you sent over covering AI content fantasies, new SEO frameworks, where the ad money is actually going.
Right.
So our mission today is to just distill all of that into something you can actually use.
And it really is a moment of reckoning, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, for the last year or so, AI promised this ultimate efficiency, just, speed.
Total autopilot.
Exactly. But the tension we're seeing, and it's all over these sources, is that the second you try to run AI on autopilot, that generic content, it just hits a quality wall.
The speed is there, but the value just isn't. So our goal for this deep dive is to get past the hype. We want to pull out the concrete steps you can take, like right now.
Use it as an assistant, not a replacement.
A strategic assistant.
Yeah.
And then crucially, figure out where those high attention, low competition ad budgets are actually landing today. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's start with that hard truth. The initial AI content gold rush, companies just churning out hundreds of cheap SEO articles.
And the sources confirm it's just collapsing under its own weight. It was, I think, inevitable.
Why, though? I mean, what's the core problem?
It's the generic output. I saw one stat. It was staggering. Something like 86% of marketers still have to heavily edit AI drafts.
86%?
Yeah. For, the basics. Brand voice, accuracy, actual expertise. And if you're spending all that time fixing it, where did the efficiency gain go?
Okay, but hold on. If the tool gets you, say, 80% of the way there instantly, isn't that still a massive win? Why can't you just accept a minor quality drop for that speed?
That is such an important question. And it gets to how the entire game is changing. Speed isn't irrelevant, but if that content has zero authority, Google is now actively filtering it out.
So it's not just about not ranking, it's about being penalized.
It's a penalty. They're cracking down on thin, spammy, obviously automated stuff. We're seeing sites lose rank. Some are even being completely de-indexed. That silent penalty is very, very real now.
So the goal isn't just to avoid getting slapped by Google. It's about actually standing out. You can't win if you sound like, every other site that sounds like AI.
Precisely. The winning move, and it's laid out really clearly in these sources, is layering in the human element. The part the model just can't have.
It can't generate trust.
It can generate language, but not trust, not local context, not a real customer story.
This is where it gets really practical, I think, because the AI can draft fast, sure, but it doesn't have your case studies or, photos from your actual office. That's your edge.
Exactly. And we're seeing this really effective four-part workflow emerge from all this.
Yeah.
Is AI first draft, then a crucial human edit.
Yeah.
Then you add what we're calling local proof, and then finally a regular refresh.
Let's break down local proof, because that feels like the secret sauce. What does that actually look like?
Well, for a service business like a lawyer or a contractor, it's geotagged success stories. It's mentioning specific local rules. It's photos of your team at a local event.
Things a machine can't know.
Right. And for an e-commerce brand, it's expert reviews, custom product photos that aren't just stock images. The kind of detail that says, a real person, an expert, made this.
And the human editor isn't just a proofreader. They're layering in that authority, that brand voice, and making sure the call to action actually makes sense.
That's it. That AI gives you the scaffolding, the human provides the trust.
That 20% human input generates 80% of the actual value.
That's the metric. It's the difference between content that reigns for a week and an asset that builds authority for years.
All right, so moving from creation to strategy, one of the most fascinating things we found was how media agencies are changing their research. If AI isn't great for hands-off creation, how can we use it for, higher level strategy?
This is where it gets really interesting. The shift is in the data they're looking at. They're now logging and analyzing how people prompt AI search tools.
So not what they search for on Google, but what they ask ChatGPT or Gemini.
Exactly. They're treating these prompts as a totally new research channel. Because a prompt reveals something keywords often hide.
Which is?
The user's objections, their confusion,
Hmm.
the why behind their search.
That's brilliant. Keyword research gives you the what, but prompt analysis gives you the why they're struggling. So how does a smaller business without, enterprise tools do this?
You don't need the expensive platform. You can borrow the workflow right now. Just take your main services, your main products, and plug them into a few different AI tools.
Okay.
And don't just look at the first answer. Study the follow-up questions the AI suggests. Look at the angles it takes to explain things.
So if I'm selling, I don't know, complex software, I should look for the AIs suggesting questions like how much does integration cost or what happens if it breaks?
Exactly right. Those questions are strategic gold. They show you exactly where the uncertainty is right now. You take those insights, and you immediately go update your website copy, your FAQs.
Ah.
You answer those objections before they're even fully formed.
It's a fast, basically free way to align your messaging with how people are thinking today.
Perfect alignment.
That's a huge strategic takeaway. But, all the best copy in the world doesn't matter if the site itself is broken. Which brings us to technical SEO debt.
It's the less exciting but maybe more important part of the equation.
Why is it so critical now?
Because AI-powered search is just ruthless. It's exposing years of ignored technical debt, slow pages, broken links. They aren't just annoyances anymore. They're actively stopping AI assistants from seeing and trusting your content.
So why does an AI care more about a broken link than the old Google algorithm did?
Because the AI is trying to build a knowledge map of your site. It's asking, is this a credible, well-organized source? If the structure is messy, if links are broken, the AI crawler just sees low-quality infrastructure.
And it assumes the content is probably disorganized too.
It just won't confidently serve your site up as an authoritative answer. Technical health is now truly a prerequisite for AI visibility.
Okay, so let's walk through the framework from the source material to fix this. The 60-minute AI visibility health check. 3 20-minute sprints.
First 20 minutes, index and error check. Go straight into Google Search Console. Look at the page indexing report.
And what are you looking for?
Export the list of pages with server errors or 404s. But, and this is the key filter, that list, and only focus on fixing the broken pages that are still getting impressions. Don't waste time on the rest.
Smart. Stop the bleeding first. Okay, next 20 minutes.
Speed and mobile check. Use Page Speed Insights, Lighthouse, whatever you like. You're not chasing a perfect 100 score. Just fix the low-hanging fruit.
Like compressing those giant images.
Compress images, get rid of old plugins, slowing things down, make sure you're on modern hosting. Speed is a huge trust signal.
Got it. And the final 20 minutes.
Content and crawl sanity check. This is a manual one. You click through your main navigation like a robot would.
And what are you looking for?
You merge or delete thin, useless pages. They dilute your authority. And here's the golden rule.
Yeah.
Make sure your most important pages are reachable in 3 clicks or less from the homepage.
3 clicks or less, that's a great, simple metric.
It signals importance. And on those key pages, just make sure there's a short, unique paragraph explaining the service, the location, and how to get in touch. It's simple context for the AI.
Okay, so we've nailed content and we've nailed technical health. Now let's talk about where the ad money is actually going. Because fighting for attention on social media is just, it's getting brutal.
And the returns are diminishing. The big data-backed trend we're seeing is this massive surge into retail media.
The growth numbers were, frankly, shocking. What was it for Walmart?
Walmart's global ad business jumped 53% year over year in Q3. And their U.S. arm, Walmart Connect, was up 33%.
53%. That's not just growth, that's an explosion. What does it tell a product brand?
It tells you where purchase intent is being captured. This isn't awareness marketing on a social feed. This is advertising on the retailer's digital shelf.
Yeah.
You're talking to someone who's already there to buy something.
You already have their credit card out, basically.
Right. It's point of transaction marketing. So for product brands, these platforms, Amazon, Walmart, Instacart, they are the new battleground, the new digital shelf space.
And the strategy has to be different, right?
Completely. You have to get away from vanity metrics like clicks. You start small, you run focus tests, and you track one thing, incremental sales. Did this ad help me sell more units? That's it.
You scale only when the numbers prove it out.
Exactly. A very tight, tangible ROI.
Now, let's contrast that with the other side of this. The sources also talked about founders pulling money away from crowded channels and going to, well, unconventional places.
Right. And this is for anyone whose Meta or Google ads have just stalled out. The question is, if everyone is saturated, where is the actual undivided attention?
The examples were pretty wild. Sponsoring cultural moments around Taylor Swift, or placing content on prison tablets?
Risen tablets. I mean, that is the literal definition of a captive
Well,
audience.
it really is.
But it tells you something critical about the attention economy. The quality of attention is now worth so much more than the quantity of impressions.
In a world of infinite scrolling, a moment of undivided focus is the rarest commodity.
And you can't buy it cheaply on Facebook anymore. The core idea is simple. Go where your customers already pay close attention. It's a huge competitive advantage. You're paying for focus, not just eyeballs.
So for you listening, if your standard ads are flatlining, the advice is to carve out a small slice of that budget.
Say 5 to 10%.
Yeah.
And dedicate it to testing these high-attention alternatives.
Like what? What's a practical example?
It could be sponsoring a really niche, high-quality industry newsletter, or a local community event, or a collaboration with a micro-influencer whose audience is small but just hangs on their every word.
Test small, measure the results, and see if that focus pays off better than just yelling into the void.
That's the play.
This has been such a critical deep dive. We've covered how AI has just, fundamentally changed the rules for content, for trust, and for where you spend your money.
I think that just synthesized the three big takeaways. First, quality has to be quantity in AI content. That human layer of voice and proof is completely non-negotiable.
Right. Second, that technical cleanup is no longer optional. It's a prerequisite for visibility in an AI-driven world.
And third, the ad landscape demands you escape the crowd. Find that niche, high-quality attention, whether it's inside a retail platform or somewhere totally unexpected.
The theme through all of this seems to be that you have to treat AI like a really fast assistant, not an autopilot.
That's it. We saw that McKinsey finding
Yeah.
that Gen AI leaders have already seen 22% efficiency gains. The smart ones are taking those savings and reinvesting them
Reinvesting them in what?
in human judgment, in creating that local proof, and testing these new high-attention channels. That's the growth loop.
So let's leave everyone with a final thought on the future of strategy. Analysts are expecting generative AI to completely reshape a $140 billion global market research industry.
Think about that for a second.
Right. All the tools for testing your offers, your pricing, your messaging, they're about to become way more accessible to smaller companies. It's this democratization of high-level strategy.
So the question to leave you with is this. How are you going to use that democratized research power to challenge your biggest competitors before they use it to challenge you?